Hi, my name is Randy Williams, and I'm the president of a Debt Coach Credit Counseling Service. And today I'm coming to talk to you about all the rave and rage you hear all over the radio about debt settlement and debt forgiveness programs. Well, let me be the first person to tell you directly. There's only one true debt forgiveness program, and that's bankruptcy. So if you hear these wonderful programs on the radio, there's probably something you don't understand, or there's a catch or something you need to know. And what I'd like to do is go over a debt settlement scenario with you so you can understand exactly what they're about before you actually get stuck in the middle of one. So let's say you have $10,000 in credit card debt. Now, you go into a debt settlement company, the first thing they're going to discuss is what their fees are. And what they charge is up to 25% of what your total indebtedness is. So at $10,000, that's a fee of $2,500. They're going to offer you 50 cents on the dollar on the settlement. So that's really $5,000 of the $10,000 is what they're saying they can do, plus their fee. So basically you're settling out $7,500. So you're saving $2,500 is how it looks on paper. Now, how did they do this? What they do first thing is they're going to put you on a monthly payment. Now, if it's only 1 year, it's $625 a month. If it's 2 years, it's $312, just to get enough money in the bank so they'd be able to settle the debts. This sounds affordable to the consumer, but unfortunately the math doesn't include interest, monthly late fees, over credit limit fees, that will be charged and accumulated during the process of saving the money to be able to settle the debt. Now, to maximize the best settlement possible, the debt must be over 184 days delinquent. That's 6 months delinquent with the bank. At that time, the bank must charge the debt off as a bad debt and turn the debt over to a collection agency. This is where you most likely can settle your debts. This is where you can get the maximum settlement part imaginable. But the problem is that you've got to keep one thing in mind. To get your maximum possible debt, you have to give up your credit and lose your credit to be able to save money. So keep that in the back of your mind as we go forward. That 6 months average interest that was accumulated during that period of time, and that $35 a month late fees, not to mention any over limit fees, can drive that debt all the way up to about $12,000 to $12,500 before it comes time to settle the debt. Now, promising that same 50 cents on the dollar, at 12 grand, that settlement's now $6,000, no longer $5,000. Of course, you still owe $2,500, so now you're in debt to $8,500. And of course, the first $25 you paid in went to them first. So now you're short. We have to extend the program so we can get enough money in here to get the debt settled. They never had the math right, and this is what's created most of the consumer complaints across the country. But the truth is, when you add interest rates, you add late fees, you add the settlement amount, and you add their 25% cost, consumers are starting to realize that the amount they're actually saving in a debt settlement program is 8%. It's not 50, it's not 60, so don't listen to the promises. It's about 8%. So ask yourself this question: is it worth saving 8% to lose your credit for the next 7 years? And the reason I bring that up is once the last debt is paid, it's on your credit report for the next 7 years. That's your credit rating, exactly the way you left it the next 7 years. Or why don't we look at a different plan? And that plan is bankruptcy. I know I just said the big bad B word, but it's bankruptcy. I like to compare bankruptcy to a debt settlement. And then I'll go into what a credit counseling service can do. If I was going to liquidate out my debt and I wanted to save as much money as possible, I wouldn't go to a debt settlement agency. I'd call an attorney. I'd file myself Chapter 7 bankruptcy if I qualified, or at worst case scenario, Chapter 13 bankruptcy where I have to make payments to get myself out of debt. Sounds kind of familiar. I'm not going to have any credit when I'm done. Well, that sounds kind of familiar with the debt settlement too. And when it's all said and done, I don't have to include every dime I saved in the settlement to the IRS as income. Let me say that again. Whatever you save, whatever amount of money you save by settling your debts must be 1099 by the creditor to you so you can use it as part of your income. Yeah, so much for that 8% you just saved, because now we owe the IRS money, but we don't really want to go there. This is the reason why before you go debt settlement, contact a bankruptcy attorney and save you the headache in life. And that way you can avoid all these different legalities out there that they don't tell you on the TV or the radio. They just want your 25%. So let's take that same scenario and let's talk about a debt coach. What can a debt coach do with that same $10,000 worth of credit card debt? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is contact your creditors, and I'm going to work directly with them by lowering the interest rates down and working within your budget, in your means, to find the right payment to fit your plan. So that way we can actually get out of debt. Every month we're going to make the payments towards the credit cards, and we'll do it until we get you debt free. Now, based on that same 10 grand, I'm looking at a $250 monthly payment for 3 years, and you're debt free, and you have your credit rating, which to me is the most important reason why we want to get out of debt to start with. I don't understand why you want to get out of debt and not have a future. I prefer getting out of debt and having my future with me, and that's what a Debt Coach Credit Service provides. Now, let's go over the 3 scenarios real quick one more time so you can see exactly what we're talking about. A debt settlement will destroy your credit for the next 7 years after you settled your debts. A bankruptcy will destroy your credit for the next 7 years after discharge date. And a Debt Coach Credit Counseling Service, which is nonprofit, paid for and regulated by your creditors to help you get out of debt, will establish your credit and have you back where you need to be within 3 years, based on the same scenario. If you'd like to learn more about what the best options are for you, please contact a Debt Coach Credit Counseling Service today at 888-767-9155, or feel free to reach out to me at randy@adebtcoach.org. I promise you, your answers are waiting for you.